We have one final question for the candidates for the 4th Congressional District. Each candidate has 30 seconds for this question. Tell us, as a congressman, what would be your job description? We begin with Mrs. Ducey.
My job description would be to represent you. Right now, they don't have to do what we say because somehow we always re-elect a Democrat or a Republican. But we need to go out there and say, I am here to represent the people of the 4th District, Kansas, and that is my job description. But as you know who I am, as you get to know more as the days go on, you'll know that you don't have to babysit me to know what my vote will be, and it will be for Kansas.
You're next, Mr. Pompeo.
My job description is to take our country back in the direction that Kansans know it needs to go. I've been out campaigning for 18 months and I've listened to lots of you. We know that continuing down the Obama-Pelosi path is not the right thing for Kansans. And so my job will be to continue to listen to you, to continue to work hard every day, to always tell the truth, and to work hard to make sure that in Washington, D.C., we do things the Kansas way.
All right, your turn, Mr. Smith.
My job is to represent everyone in the 4th District and also to follow the U.S. Constitution.
And finally tonight in our Congressional Candidate Forum, closing statements. Each candidate has 1 minute, beginning with Mike Pompeo.
Well, thank you all for joining us here this evening. These are indeed serious and challenging times here in Kansas 4th Congressional District, and it calls for serious leaders, leaders who have lived in the real world. I've done that. When I founded Thayer Aerospace, there were 0 employees, and when I left, there were 400. And when I joined the company that I'm running today, it had 0 jobs. Today, there are over 100 jobs here in the United States of America. My Democrat opponent, Goyle, believes that you sit in Topeka or Washington, D.C., and you push a button to vote, and magically jobs appear. I think Kansans know better than that. I think we know jobs appear when government gets out of the way, and big government gets smaller, and our nation returns to its constitutional roots. Those are the things that create good lives for folks here in Kansas. We have an enormous opportunity on November 2nd. We have an opportunity to fundamentally change ourselves away from the agenda of our president and our Speaker of the House. I need your vote to be a part of making that enormous change. Thank you all very much.
I just proved this is live TV by making a mistake. I skipped Goyle and the question about job description. Raj, go ahead.
Thank you. My job description as a member of Congress would be a champion for jobs in the 4th District of Kansas, to work across party lines and to work with the private sector to make sure we create and protect jobs here in the 4th District. And as I've said, I would work hard each and every day to stop and to fight the practice of outsourcing our good Kansas manufacturing jobs overseas. Our tax code right now rewards companies for shipping jobs overseas, as my opponent Mike Pompeo has done, and it's got to stop.
Now back to our closing statements from Mrs. Ducey.
Yes, I know that many of you before this evening didn't know that there was another candidate running for Congress in this district. But the people at this station have decided that you need to know all the candidates so that you can study and you can learn all the issues so you can be an informed voter when you go to the voting booth. And so I would ask that if there are some media that will cover you, and as you know, many of the media refuse to cover me, call them and thank them and tell them that you appreciate them as I do. We've had too many times when people don't.
And now a closing statement from Mr. Goyle.
Thank you to the other candidates, and thank you for watching and listening tonight. We all agree on this stage that government should be small and efficient. Where I disagree with my Republican opponent, Mike Pompeo, is on the issue that the next member of Congress must work with the private sector to create and protect jobs. And we have a fundamental disagreement on the issue of outsourcing. Mike Pompeo has been a serial outsourcer. Jobs to Mexico, jobs now in China. And I believe that the next member of Congress must work each and every day to create and protect Kansas jobs and to stop this practice of outsourcing. I will work each and every day to do just that, to work across party lines, and to make sure that we return Kansas values of hard work, playing by the rules, and having every Kansan has the same equal opportunity to live the American dream.
Now a closing statement from Mr. Smith.
I'm just an average blue-collar guy who got fed up with what the Democrats and Republicans were doing to our country, that I finally did something about it. I joined the 3rd largest and fastest growing political party in the U.S., the Libertarian Party. We share the Founding Fathers' belief in limited federal government, of the people, by the people, and for the people. Albert Einstein is quoted as saying, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result." If you truly want a different result than what you have been getting from the tired old two-party system, then please vote for me on Tuesday, November 2nd. And together we can buck the status quo and create real change in Washington.
Thank you. That is the end of our Campaign 10 Candidate Forum. We want to thank our 4th District candidates, all who are here tonight.